wanted to take some time and walk you through some more Disney albums. So these are, it's 2 3x8 albums that I ended up using to document our 2019 family trip to Disney World. So let's dive in. For starters, I wanted to do a 3x8, and I ended up overstuffing one of the 3x8 albums that I had on hand. And so I ended up buying, these are the light green linen albums from this year's December Daily Collection from Ali Edwards. So they're matching. I always use the Ellie Studio Stanley Jr. alphas for all the spines on my albums. And then the number 1 and number 2 are from a story stamp. I'm not sure which one at this point. So yeah, let's get started. So this is album 1. So in October and November of last year of 2019, my husband's family and us, we accompanied them on their Disney World trip super last minute. We hadn't planned to go all year long. They were taking my nephew for the first time and going for my sister-in-law's anniversary. And we got laid off from our jobs both my husband and I got laid off from our jobs in July. And so it just really wasn't feasible. And then at the very last minute, we made it happen. Literally like the week before we booked our trip. And so they had extra room. And so we were able to cut down on some costs and things like that. But it was wonderful to be able to accompany them. And the best thing about this story was not just being there with my in-laws, and my nephew for his first trip, but being there. We went for Halloween and we got to be there for the start of their Christmas festivities. So that was super special and super cool. So I'm going to walk you through sort of what I've documented. Again, using the 3x8 album, this photo is just a 2x3 that has the dates stamped on there that we went. And it is a photo of the entrance to Magic Kingdom with sort of fall and Halloween decor on the top of the train station and Christmas garland on the fence below because they were transitioning one of the days that we went to Magic Kingdom, they were transitioning their decorations, and it was super fun to see that. And then the Celebrating This Story is a wood veneer piece that fit perfectly in this 3x6 pocket from the Celebrate Story kit from Ali Edwards. On the back, I just used a story card to talk give a little bit of information about sort of the trip as a intro. Photo of us at the airport getting ready to leave on the plane, documenting Ruby is a service dog for my husband. And so she travels with us and she makes travel possible for us, especially a trip like this. So she did amazing. This was her best flight ever. And she's flown quite a bit, but this was her best one. And so then I've got here on the outside of my journaling, a 3x8 photo that is a sort of panorama of our room with a little tag included on top with puffy words that say stay, and just a little bit of information about our room. We ended up staying at the Art of Animation Resort. So the way that I did my journaling for this trip is I did journaling that I like to call on the threes. And so it's every third hour. So in theory, midnight, 3 a.m., 6 a.m., 9 a.m., 12 p.m., etc. So I stamped those out. These are some Ali Edwards stamps, maybe from the Day in the Life kit last year, I think, from 2019, and then printed my journaling. So I just printed with space to do all my stamping. Then at the top, I just stamped the day of the week and the date. And that will be repeated. The other type of journaling that I did 2 types of journaling, is remember this. I want to remember. So it's literally just kind of a like paragraph sort of list of things that I wanted to remember from each day of the trip. So this was outside of our hotel, like the outside of our hotel. We stayed in the Lion King section, which was super fun. And then I did a little slit in my photo here to put in some journaling this is an Ellie Studio tag just about our hotel and enjoying staying there for the first time. This is some pattern paper from LA Studio with a little photo from another place in our hotel. And this is a sticker from LA Studio from the Magical Memories kit, which was sort of perfect for Disney and amusement parks. Documenting some things. My husband and I arrived early in the morning, and the rest of our family didn't get there until later, like almost the next morning. It was so late in the day. So we arrived, we had some time to hang out and get some snacks by ourselves and take a nap. So I thought this was cute. This is Ruby sleeping on our bed with a picture of Simba that was painted sort of on the inside. This is a Murphy bed, so it pulls down out of the wall. It's a table normally. And so that's where we slept again, because we were sort of stowaways on this trip. And so this was the like painting inside when you pull the bed down. So that was perfect. More journaling. So this is day 2 journaling. All of my remember this, and then my timed journaling. Here I wanted to document that I actually got up last summer. I started a 52 5K challenge. So my goal was to do a 5K every week. And so that just happened to coordinate and work out that I wanted to do my 5K at Disney. And so I did a 5K around sort of the area by our hotel. And so I wanted to document that and include that. Here is a horizontal photo of the Skyliner, which was one of the things I was absolutely most excited about. So I actually snapped this. I happened to find it and snap it while I was on my 5K in the morning, and just so excited about it. It totally lived up to the hype in my mind. And it doesn't really bother me to have horizontal versus vertical, especially in a 3x8 album. It's something I just do at this point. Here's a little fold out. So this is actually a 9x12 page protector that's cut down. So it's just one strip of 3x4s, and you trim off the bottom of the rings here, or the edge where the holes are punched, to create this little flip, just to create some extra space. So we had lunch we took my nephew for the day and had lunch at Disney Springs with my in-laws, and it was just great. And the pup and the boy asleep. Successful outing, right? Because that evening we were going to the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. So we traveled to Florida on Halloween, and then on November 1st we attended the last Halloween party for the season. So this is actually a signature card that we got from all of the Winnie the Pooh characters, and so I just cut that down as sort of a divider and introduction to this section. The entrance to Magic Kingdom, all lit up for Halloween with the fog and the spooky castle. These are sort of candy corn puffy alphas from LA Studio from 2019 that I had left over. I kept specifically for this album. There is Spooky Main Street. It's all of its fancy lightings and the pumpkin lanterns down the way there. A little bit of this is a Halloween card from LA Studio, I think from 2019. It may also be from 2018, that I had just held on to give a little bit of detail about our Halloween. This is what we did for Halloween on November 1st. So we actually sort of dressed up as Peter Pan and Tinkerbell and Wendy. And so that's just a little bit about that. A couple of sites around throughout the party. This is some old Stampin' Up! Paper that I have that I just made this little pocket out of. And so then inside are tags cut to, you can see they're cut sort of so that they're staggered. And so just more photos. There's nothing on the back, just more photos from the Halloween party that I wanted to include, and a little bit more journaling. This tag is from the 2020 travel collection from Allie Edwards here, and just a little bit of ribbon on top stapled in place to give it some dimension and texture. And so then these just slide back in. All right. and a picture or a puffy sticker from Ellie Studio. And then on the back, just a photo of the castle from another angle with different lights. I took a lot of castle photos on this trip. It was just illuminated in so many different ways between Halloween and Christmas decorations. A 3x6 of us with Pooh and the gang. This is a wood veneer jack-o'-lantern from the Stories by the Month kit from October 2019 that I included in there. And then all of my in-laws, they were actually dressed as, their costumes were Tigger and Eeyore and Pooh and a pot of honey and Piglet. And so I thought those were fun. My in-laws with the castle and my cute nephew. Us with the sort of Halloween scene behind us. These are all photos. We always get the photo pass option when we go to Disney World because they provide a lot of great photos, and as a scrapbooker I just can't pass that up. My remember this journaling from day 3, which was November 2nd, and then on the back is a horizontal 3x4 photo of the Slinky Dog coaster in the Toy Story section at Hollywood Studios, because that was the first time that we had been there for Toy Story. Toy Story had just opened, Toy Story and Star Wars opened since the last trip that we had been on, and so this was the first time we'd gotten to see them. We got there super early in the morning for the very last day of their extra magic hours, and so we were there in the dark, and then the sun came up while we were in Galaxy's Edge, which is the Star Wars section, and so it was cool to say the least. On all of my timed journaling, that carried over a little bit to the back, so I just included another photo pass photo of us again once the sun came up. This is a it's 4 2x3 photos. It's a template that was included with some Week in the Life digital templates from Allie Edwards that I got from her site from a few years ago, and I just have them and use them all the time in my 3x8 albums. So this side was all about riding Slinky and Toy Story area, and then we sort of ventured over to Galaxy's Edge, which we were super excited about as huge Star Wars fans. And so the back is photos from that. More photo pass photos. This is one that I took of, this is the Millennium Falcon here with the sort of scenic background. Once the sun came up, just across the top from a different part of the park and just getting a different view. This was us riding the Millennium Falcon, waiting in the queue. So they have this like interactive queue area that's really cool while you wait to ride. Ruby got to meet Chewbacca. Actually, this was amazing because Ray and Chewie were walking through the park, and we just happened to be walking past, and Ray came over and said, you know, Chewie really wants to meet your dog, your furry, your Wookiee is what she called him, really wants to meet your Wookiee. And so they had this really cool moment of interaction that was just super awesome and unbelievable. And Ruby did a great job sort of meeting them. More photo pass. This was the day the Skyliner was not open on our way over because we went over at we got to the park at 6 a.m. And so we rode it back to our hotel. So grateful to be on the Skyliner route. I don't think we'll ever stay in a hotel that's not on the Skyliner route. So I took this photo of this is like the corral where you board, the boarding area for the Skyliner. And so I took that, and then a photo of us. Oh, well, that's kind of unfortunate. It should have been, this is photos backwards. That's not ideal. This photo's backwards, but then it's us on the Skyliner. Here is a little flip out. So this was our first day going to the parks together. So my husband and I went to Hollywood Studios in the morning, and then in the afternoon we all went together. We had lunch reservations in Magic Kingdom and did some Magic Kingdom stuff together. My sister-in-law made us all these cute Halloween shirts, and so we were wearing them. So that's all of us on the bus. Here's a bigger version of that photo in the front. Sorry if you can't see this, there we go. that is sort of the cross between Halloween. So this was November 2nd. The last Halloween party happened the night of November 1st. And they're already starting to decorate for Christmas. So it was really exciting to see that transition. Another view of the castle, sort of through some shrubs, which was really cool and sort of fairy tale-like to me. And then a photo of all of us with the castle that night. A little bit of journaling about our shirts and some of the comments that we got, because after November 1st, Halloween is over in the park. And all of the cast members were talking to us about, like, it's Christmas, why are you wearing pumpkin shirts? But we weren't there before Halloween, so it was great. And cut down a 2x2 page protector. This is a 6x8 page protector that I just cut 2 rows off to give me 4 up. That included some photos from our lunch. We had lunch with a character lunch with the Winnie the Pooh characters. My husband and I played the Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom game. It's like a puzzle game in the Magic Kingdom for the very first time. And so this was us, sort of documenting that experience. Cute little folder that I made. This is just like a 3x4 folder that holds some tags. Photo of my nephew with the castle, him walking the dog, Ruby doing a great job settling during the fireworks, which is a challenge for her, and a little bit of journaling. So just a little tag booklet to put in here. I like to, in my 3x8 albums, include a lot of interactivity. It makes me have to have 2 albums, but it makes it more fun for me. It's a fun challenge. This is I think 3.5 by 3.5 photo of us having a little midnight snack at the end of the day and a little bit of journaling about that. So that's all of album 1. And let's move over to album 2. So for the beginning here, this is a old story kit envelope. This is what the story kits come in when you order them, these plastic envelopes. Now there's a newer, slightly taller design, but this is the original one. And so I just used some red line tape to adhere it into my album. I trimmed down this side just a little bit because it was interacting with the seam, and so it wasn't closing properly. And this holds all of our like maps and our bracelets from the party. So just like our ephemera from the trip. So when we got to Magic Kingdom, after the day after the Halloween party, they actually had the tree up, the Christmas tree up in the main like town square. And we actually walked in just as they were getting ready to lower the flag for the day, which was something I've never seen them do in the park, but they do every day. And it was a super, of course, magical. It's Disney. Just a really nice moment. They have the band come out and play. They have a guest from the military who helps them raise and lower the flag. They close off the area. So it was just really cool to experience something different. So this was November 3rd. This was our 4th day in the park. Sorry, this was our 4th day. Yeah. Sorry. Confusing. So I'll remember this journaling from day 4 inside with a photo of my nephew and I at the castle lighting. Time journaling on the back. And then here I have a full page photo of all of us. Unfortunate that I had to cut my brother-in-law in half, but I think it works out okay. There was just no other way to get all of us in with some of the decoration other than doing it as this size. So all of us there, and then on the back, another 4x6 photo of the giant tree and Main Street and the castle here. A little bit of journaling on labels, just to give a little more context. We got to see, so we went from Halloween, again, more pictures of the castle, because we got to be there for the very first lighting of the castle for the Christmas season, which is Frozen themed and like icicles. So they have like a whole little show that they do each night. We got to be there for the first one of that. So that was cool. Oh, the tree lighting too. We got to be there for the first of the tree lighting. There's a photo pass of us with the castle. Main Street, so here are all the Christmas decorations. So for Halloween, I had it from the castle looking down Main Street. Here we're looking up Main Street toward the castle with all the Christmas decorations in there. And again, at night, when it's all decorated and lit up with the Christmas tree in the center there. Another one of those little pockets with some photos from, we did the Christmas tree lighting and Frozen castle lighting at Magic Kingdom, and then we went over to Hollywood Studios for dinner and for the rest of the evening. We met another Vizsla service dog while we were there, and that was so amazing and awesome. So just a little bit journaling about these photos included in the back there. Get all the pieces in. There we go. And my journaling on a little story card, and then 3x6 photo of all of us at the restaurant. Photo of us on the main drag there. Journaling for day 5. This is all my remember this. We were at Epcot for day 5, or part of day 5. So this is a photo of Morocco, which is like my favorite section of Epcot. Another photo, just some detail shot. Oops. Timed journaling. This little tag has vellum letters on it. I used the Jane alpha dies from LA Studio to cut the word Epcot out of vellum and attach it to this piece of pattern paper, and then do some journaling on the back. These are some of our like passport photos from PhotoPass throughout Epcot. And then just some photos of us around. Here I used that template again with the 4 2x3s to include some characters and photos of us at lunch. More Skyliner photos, some typed journaling on a colored background there. This is a fun little flip out of just some more photos. We went back to Hollywood Studios in the evening to do some of the Star Wars stuff that we missed out on, and to have dinner again. On our last morning there, we had a character breakfast at the Cape May Cafe, which is over at the Boardwalk Hotel. But this is my nephew. He was in love with Minnie, and he just kept following, like visually following her around the restaurant as they moved through, and so that was super cute. So remember this journaling. We were only there for our breakfast in the morning, and then we headed home. So journaling about that, our timed journaling. And then we took one last ride on the Skyliner and back to our hotel to sort of get ready to head home from breakfast. So that was great. And more photos from breakfast. The story of this meal cards are paper pad. I believe they were in, maybe they were in the Eat Story kit or the food collection or something, but I have those, so I just use them sporadically. Good photo of hubby and I. My father-in-law's sister and her son live in Florida. They live near Orlando, and so they came up and had breakfast with us on our last morning, so that was super fun and a nice visit with them. Heading home on the plane. This includes just, the photo is, it's just a decorative. There's not a pool out there. A little bit about like liking and disliking leaving. And so then one of the things I did, again, to capture sort of that transition from Halloween to Christmas, was take photos of us exiting each time. And so these are some of the best. It's hard because there's lots of people leaving at the same time. So a little bit of journaling about that. And so here we are. Here's Sean and Ruby with the Halloween exit, and them again with the Christmas exit. This stamp is from LA Studio with a little bit of puppy sticker embellishment. So that's another Disney album. I still have one more past Disney album to document, and that is our 2019 spring trip to Disneyland for the very first time. Haven't done that yet. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching.